The S-bar chart, as with all of the control charts, is similar in concept to the X-bar chart. So let's go ahead and dig right in. The first thing that we're going to do, we have our test data again, which is the emergency department to lab to back to the emergency department turnaround time values. We left off with our X-bar chart done. So now what we have to calculate is the S of the S-bar. The sigma of the S-bar is the standard deviation of the standard deviations. To calculate that, we want to find the standard deviation of all of our standard deviations. So that's essentially our daily standard deviations. We're going to calculate the standard deviation of all of them. And we get 6.390854. Now, we could have a separate line like we did with the 3 sigma to calculate it out, but we know we can just add that right in to our upper control limit. So our upper control limit now is based on, instead of the X-bar bar, the S-bar. So it's going to be the S-bar, but what we're going to do is we're going to take that S-bar and add it to 3 times our S of S-bar, or the standard deviation of the standard deviations. So you can see our formula up here. So the B12 is referring to our S-bar, and then we're going to add 3 times our standard deviation of the standard deviations. And we get 35.18532. We could also do that with a 2 sigma value if we wanted to. I'm going to cheat. And all we have to do is paste that in and then change this to a 2. And then we have 28.79446. And the way that I cheated was I selected the cell, hit F2, which allows me to actually edit the cell. I just highlighted everything in the cell, hit Control C, hit Escape because I really didn't want to change anything. Then I put it into the new cell, hit F2 again, and I pasted it in. But we don't want to do that here. So for the lower control limit, we're going to take the same formula. We're going to put it down in here so we can cheat like we did before. The difference here is, of course, with the lower control limit, we're going to subtract instead of add the 3 times the standard deviation of the standard deviations. Now, it's a negative value, and we have a note over here. If it's less than 0, we set it to 0. So we'll have to keep that in mind for the next step.